You just started it. I know. Sit there and smile. Are you supposed to eat your cupcake now?
No, it's later.
Oh, it is 100% live.
All right. What do y'all do? So what are y'all doing? What have y'all been up to?
Just playing a little basketball.
Little basketball?
Yep.
Yeah.
Is that all y'all done today? Fucking hard work.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Yeah. Your recovery. It's recovery zone, right?
He did beat me in
After-
basketball.
Oh,
Just
no
want to make
shit.
sure it's recorded.
Is this Nerf fucking is this Nerf ball? Nerf basketball?
Did he beat you in that race, the foot race too?
He did not beat me in the foot
Yeah,
race.
I did.
He did not.
All I know is when I saw the picture, his fucking form's legit. You look like you're dying.
I just raced.
Just run out there.
And I played 5 more basketball games than he did. So
All right. We doing this?
that's what exactly.
Craig, I don't know what we're talking about, but let's fucking talk about something. Let's roll.
All right.
Performance on Demand podcast. It's
1, 2, 3, let's go.
Oh shit.
I shared the wrong link. Son of a bitch.
I was like, where did he come from?
All right, Derek, looks like you're chatting with us.
Hi.
Hi.
Okay, I'll exit out of your guys' chat now.
You can totally stay in here. I don't
No,
give a
you can
shit.
stay. Yeah, you can stay.
I actually have to clean the house. We're gonna have company over, so I'll just tune in YouTube.
Fucking gay.
Well, if
You got
Jerry-
YouTube, why don't you
fucking
tune in
technology.
Jack Wagon?
What is
What the fuck was that?
Sorry.
You get Natalie, hi. Total failure.
All right, let me get this right link to share. I thought the link looked weird.
Where is the link? Send me the link.
YouTube?
You just posted.
Okay, good.
Did you grab a beer?
Yeah, I did.
There we go. Look at that awkward ass picture.
Why does it have to be me?
Deep in it.
All right, let's try this again, dude.
All right.
Why's Derek in the room?
What's happening now?
You need to hear
Are we gonna do it again?
Sure.
All right. I got 53 minutes. We're gonna need more than that.
No, I can't take these guys that long.
Okay.
That's what she said. Can you hear that, Derek? No, Derek's not there
Derek's
anymore.
not. He left. He said he'd clean the house.
All right. Here we go.
Let's roll. Can you hear us okay?
Shut. Shh. Always fucking shit up.
Performance on Demand podcast. It's
1, 2, 3, let's go.
Welcome to Performance on Demand podcast with Craig and Jeremy, where you will learn all things endurance sports from training and nutrition to mental strength. Everything you need and want to know in one place.
Welcome back to Performance on Demand podcast. I'm your host, Craig Willard, and we have 4 guys riding the couch.
I can tell you right now, if you're not watching on Hangouts, you're missing it. It just sounds like 5 dudes talking.
Wait, it's taking us like an hour to even get this started.
It was pretty bad. We invited in people in the room. It was anyway. I don't know why this guy screwed it up, but
It was almost like I will call him out. Tom Rebeck in his 20 minutes says he's eating a sandwich in transition.
Man, take your time in transition, man. And I see his splits like 18 minutes T1.
He played cards and made a sandwich.
Fair enough. So,
Love Tom.
Greg,
Love Tom.
we got a house full today.
We do. We
And
do.
you know what? We have nothing to talk about. I mean, we don't really have a plan. Correct? Do we ever have a plan?
No.
Right. So we got some guys. Have you had a beer? You want another beer?
I'm good. I'm good.
So first and
What are
foremost,
What are y'all drinking? Lemonade?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've got a
There's-
double
Look at
IPA.
those. Look at those spritzers.
So first and foremost, it's that guy's birthday. You can't see him pointing at him. Jeremy Stagg, one of our athletes. It's his birthday, so we brought him. You want to show everybody what we brought you? We got him a little birthday gift. And now
What is that? What is it?
it's a
A
single
cupcake. I gotcha.
Kroger. He was pissed because I didn't have a lighter for the candle, but whatever. So we're gonna awkwardly sing "Happy Birthday" to him. Ready, guys? Here
Are we
go.
ready?
3, 2, 1, go. Happy birthday.
Happy birthday to you.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday.
Now he's
You.
live on air, but you can't see it.
Now you get to eat your cupcake.
Your cupcake.
Golly.
All right, so we got that craziness out of the way. So, Craig, there's no purpose to today's podcast other than the fact that we have 4, that's this many, triathletes on one couch. These
You know
two guys have been playing basketball for a while. They stink. This guy's been sitting here watching our other podcast for a while. He doesn't stink, but whatever.
All the way over there.
So that's why he's on this end. So, the thing is we have, I was thinking about, I was like, man, what the fuck are we even going to talk about? And as we sit here, I realized we have 3 guys with me, I won't talk about myself. We have 3 guys that take the sport seriously, but they don't take themselves seriously. And I had a conversation with Derek a while back about it, and it's that's what I look for in an athlete. I look for in friends or people that take as these fucking games. You're gonna have a moment here.
I'm trying.
I can tell you're trying real hard. So, what the hell do we even name this one? Something about Champions Way. And you and I have discussed champion.
Sorry.
Did you go outside?
No, I'm all right.
And he's not even had a half a beer yet. So, we named this one Champions Way. And we talked in the past about what a champion is and all that other fun stuff. But I think about it, and it's what do these guys all have in common? No matter what your threshold is, no matter how long you've been in the sport, right? How long you been in the sport? This is Steve over here talking.
4 months.
4 months, maybe. So, not that long. How long you been in the sport?
Wow.
Say your name, where you're from, what you're into, and then tell us how long you've been in the sport.
I'm Jonathan.
Jonathan, what?
Jonathan Lejeune.
Don't look at me when you're talking. That's
That's awkward.
I talk.
I know, but look at the screen. Not me.
I've been in sport about 4 years,
Okay.
but I ran competitively in high school and both college. So I've been doing this.
Where'd you go to college?
I went to Houston Baptist University. Go Huskies!
As he says, the F-bomb in this conversation.
A lot.
Carry on.
Next.
So, 4 years. How long you been in?
3 years. My name is Jeremy Stagg, and I have been
He totally has-
alcohol-free. Oh, is this not me? This is
My beer ran out. He totally has stained blue teeth from the icing on his birthday.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
How long you been in the sport?
3 years.
3 years in the sport. Steve, what do you do?
I'm active duty military.
Active duty. Yeah, speak up. Speak in the camera.
Why does it like 6 touchdowns?
He just got 6 touchdowns. He's active duty military, so he's protecting our coach day in and day out. What do you do?
I'm in sales. I work for Superfeed Worldwide in the Carolinas.
Speak up a little bit more.
Louder?
Just totally kidding. Stag, what do you do?
Engineer. I'm a nerd.
Totally
I'm a
nerd.
nerd.
Nothing, Craig. Nothing in common in this,
Nothing.
right? And yet, a lot of things. Obviously, we're all sitting here, and I said, hey, guys, let's all sit on the same fucking couch. This sounds like a great idea. And they're like, screw it, let's do it. They're like sitting on top of remotes and all kinds of other shit. But so I think that at the end of the day,
You get another?
no, I'm good. I'm good. You got beer run. BEERRUN. Beer run. So, so I thought about it. There's not a lot we can talk about other than the fact that we're all different, yet we're all the same. And the biggest thing is that. I'm fucking talking here.
Sorry.
The biggest thing is that none of these guys take themselves seriously, Craig. Matter of fact,
So here's what I think we should do. So y'all are ridiculous. Let's
Craig, what the fuck's
ask a couple questions.
FCC's gonna ban us.
I know they are. It's getting ready to get worse. Let's ask a couple questions, and then
You pick somebody and ask, Craig. Craig. You know what? You're the interviewer.
I'm looking.
Oh,
Let's prank a random call.
who are we calling?
Who just dial a number,
Got it.
and we're selling. Let's sell. Dude, we're selling souls. We're selling not souls. We're selling souls, like souls of the,
Dude, you've had half a crew. What the fuck's wrong?
Let's do this. Let's sell. What are we selling?
We're selling souls.
Okay.
Holy shit. Here we go.
I love this. All right.
I don't want any damn souls.
Yes!
That
I about my
Well, that
hand is
didn't
covered in
work.
beer.
And that blew up in our face because he actually just was on. So he just didn't want to be. All right, so Greg, seriously,
That was great. That was
search
great.
online, find us some questions. Let's put these guys through the ringer. Let's see what they're made of. Let's see what they're about. Let's see what they're thinking. So first up, it's gonna be Jeremy Stagg.
Birthday boy.
Birthday boy. So he just raced. Where did you race a couple weeks ago?
Galveston.
And tell us how shitty of a performance that was.
It was there.
Okay, good.
The run
Thought so.
felt like a death.
Perfect. No, we're done. We're done with that.
So
Next.
it felt and was a death march.
Mm.
But at the end of the day, already qualified for 7.3 world champs, right? Let's put the work in. Let's get it done. And there's obviously a bigger purpose, and he recognized that after he got done realizing he swam like a fucking donkey. So, Craig, first up, Jeremy Stagg, birthday boy. What do you got for him?
Can you talk down to a short person?
Oh,
I can talk down to Jeremy.
this Jeremy's joke isn't really that funny.
Yeah, I just pulled up this list. I'm going through them as quickly as I can to find one that makes.
Give us a number, Craig, and just let us pick it.
Why are there no B batteries?
Oh,
B batteries?
dude.
you're
There's
the
no B. There's A, double A, triple A, C, and D,
And 9 volt.
and 9 volt.
And
9 volt throws it
CR2032.
out, though. I mean, that's kind of weird.
CR2032.
We're going to name the 9 volt a B.
Okay.
It's a square battery. It doesn't fit in the A to D.
Mhm.
It's actually rectangular, but whatever.
If you're gonna get
He's got nothing. The engineer's done. All right,
What
next.
about-
That
what
was
about
lame.
2032 because it's still circular. You could deem it B, right? So we put it on.
there.
Put it on.
He doesn't know that. Dude can't shit on his He doesn't even know how to turn a wrench. Anyway. All right, next
All
thing.
right. Oh,
Greg, you got to come with it. You got to bring
I'm
me.
looking. I'm digging.
You know what's funny is we actually have 4 viewers. We had 1 viewer for the
We
last.
did 4.
I don't know what that says about our people.
Here we go. Are children who act in rated R movies allowed to see them?
Ooh, aren't they seeing it while they're doing it? But
I don't know. Are they?
That's rhetorical. It's
Are-
got-
that's a serious question. I
That
don't
is.
My kids see it rated R. I mean, PG-13, like Star Wars.
yeah, it's not for your kids.
Here's a good one too. Here's a better one.
He's got a pair of kids. How old are they?
They're, they're trouble. I call them the hooligans.
The hooligans.
The
All right.
hooligans. Yeah.
What's your better question, Craig? Let's nail this.
Yeah, that was awful, dude. Come on, let's get.
Can an atheist get insurance against acts of God? What do you say to that? What do you even say?
Dude. You have one
On
shot.
Good Friday.
On Good
Oh,
Greg, you've got one job.
and I just
I lost a viewer, by the way.
Yeah, we did. We're down a viewer. Come on, come back.
done.
Dude, we need. Give me something.
Do prison buses have emergency exits? I don't know. This is.
Greg, what do you call a
I
cow?
got. No, I got.
Craig, what do you call a cow with no legs?
Doesn't matter what you call him, he's not coming to you.
Ground beef.
What do you call a person with no arms? A man with no arms and no legs floating in the water.
Dude, it's Good Friday.
Bob.
Oh, dude, we're losing people. They're dropping like
I know.
flies.
Let's see.
Give me a good deep question. Give me
30?
something to think about, and we figure out just who the hell this guy is, and this guy is.
Here's an interesting one.
All right, Stag's up first. Birthday boy, give him a good one.
Here, perfect. So I don't even know where this is going. A is the father of B, but B is not the son of A. How's that possible?
You lost me at 8.
I did too. Give me a number. Give me a number. Give me a number. Give me a number.
Greg, find a new website.
This is my 5th one. All these suck.
Type in mental strength questions. I want to make these guys uncomfortable, and right now, other than being on this couch with stinky dudes, it's not happening.
And we're the stinky dudes.
Yeah. And Steven's over here
Right.
like, I don't fucking
We're
belong.
gonna test your.
These guys are
Forbes,
stupid.
this is a Forbes website, so this should be okay, right?
Forbes? Yeah, of course.
All right. This is testing for mental sharpness.
Ooh, Stag.
boy.
We're not going to
Why do you
judge
think
you.
an engineer's smart?
We're not going to judge you.
All right. Come on.
So as we sit here, Craig actually is not even looking at a website. He's staring at the ceiling. For those of you that aren't watching right now, I don't know how to
We're
fill
down
this
another
space.
viewer.
Craig, we're down to 2 viewers. We had 4. It was almost a PR.
Do you have any irrational fears?
Ooh.
Get on it. That one is deep.
Get on it. Stag, you're up.
I'd have to say, on any open water swim, unless the water's clear, you always think about what's under the water. And I know Lejeune does too, because he's terrified of gators and sharks.
But is that irrational?
It is irrational.
Have you
Why
fucking
is it-
pictures of stuff in the water?
No, I don't.
Right, so it's not irrational.
Because Google tells everything.
Because Google.
Yeah, you can't lie.
Fair enough answer, Craig?
Yeah, fine. What's your greatest weakness?
Oh, fuck. Dude, he just came
Well,
out.
Derek would say nutrition.
I would say running.
I would say he's good at the bike, though.
He's real good at the bike.
It's a real good bike. Where do you see yourself in 5 years?
On the podium.
Oh!
That's a good one.
Where
Is it a 5K or?
Oh! Not a 5K. He can't run.
17.
All right, next guy's up.
Let's see. There was only 5 on that one. There were value. I'm having to dig for these.
We're down.
Damn, we're down to 1 viewer, Craig.
Not a hit.
Nobody's downloading this podcast, I swear to God.
I'll
No,
down
they're not. They're not going to listen to it.
We'll have at least one. I won't. How about this, Craig? While you're looking, I want to know how each of you 3 fit your training in with a busy life, busy work, families, whatever you have going on, social activities. How do you fit in? Because we both know you guys race at a very high level, right? And he's learning how to fit it into his daily life and things like that. So, Stag, what are your tricks? How do you fit it in the training at the level to be where you want to be? Not training where you're at now, but training to be where you want to be. That podium at 70.3 World Champs. How do you fit that in?
Well, I think you got to make it a priority in your life. So you got all these priorities. You only got so much time in the day. So for you to fit all that in, something's got to go. You can't do everything every day all the time. So a lot of times it requires a lot of sacrifices. Getting up at 4 o'clock in the morning, going to bed at 7:30.
He said 7:30 for those that can't hear. That's okay, because we get it.
You got to sleep. You got to.
Yeah.
So name one thing you've given up that you might have done 5 years ago that you have said, you know what, I can't do that.
A social life.
Well, but to be more specific, is it going out drinking with friends?
No,
Is
it would be going out Friday nights or Saturday nights or
Okay.
Sunday nights.
Or Sunday nights. Yeah.
All right. All right.
Yeah, afternoons. Yeah,
All right. Next.
they don't keep you up late.
Fair enough. Fair enough. So, tell me.
So I
Because hang on, you got a family.
got a family.
You got a busy career that you just moved for.
Absolutely.
You're on the road for sales, which
Absolutely.
You're selling souls.
is you sell a lot of souls.
I get
So, how do you do it? It's going to be different than him. He's a single
Absolutely.
guy, younger. You know,
He is. Oh, he's younger and uglier, but that's okay.
Super.
So I have a phenomenal wife who picks up a lot of my slack. To be completely honest, because I mean it's
true.
real.
That's true.
I mean
It's
I
true.
have 2 kids that are super young, and I'm not always home. You know, if there's a 4-hour bike ride, I'm on my bike. This year we've made a lot of sacrifices, and I'm spending a lot more time on the trainer just so I can be home with my wife and my kids. Because I mean, at the end of the day, that's where I sacrifice. Is I don't get to always see them as he's feeling my ear.
There's only one viewer.
I know, and it's probably Kendall. But I mean, that's where it comes in. Is I make it, like Stack said, I make it a priority. It's hey, like this is what I have to do. I'm gonna get it done, and these are the things that I have to get done. And sometimes that means hopping on the trainer at 4 a.m. or going for a swim at 4 a.m., which is very rare. I'd rather hop on the trainer before I swim. But I know. But
That's Derek. By the way, Derek is our only viewer. Derek has seen your swim split.
But for me, it's the most important thing outside of my family. So my family comes first, then this training, and then I'm going to fit my job around it. Because at the end of the day, we are in sales, right? So I do have the privilege of, hey, it's 8 o'clock at night, I'm sending emails. Or, if it's 10 to 6, I don't really, at the end of the day, 10 to 6 is kind of my work hours. So it makes training a little bit easier, especially if I'm up at 5 a.m. to get it done. But it's outside of my family, it's the most important thing to me. So I'm gonna get it in. With that being said, it's not that I'm sacrificing my career, because like you said, I just moved to the Carolinas for it. So, and if we don't have money, I can't support my family. So
Stop looking at me while you're talking.
it's weird. I'm telling you.
Look at me in the screen. So, all right, great. That's great. And that's the thing is one thing we all 4 know, and Craig has learned over time is, Craig is not an endurance athlete. And I don't say that to be negative, but Craig brings a totally different perspective. So he's learned so much about triathlon and endurance sports specifically. And that sacrifice is huge. He's worked with several pro athletes, elite athletes, even down to back and pack age groupers. And it's that's the same common thing is, what the hell do you give up to do what you need to do or that you want to do? So, and this is going to be a completely different perspective. And this is what I appreciate about kind of this group of guys is, Stephen, tell us. So Stephen is 4 months into this-ish, roughly. And I actually think you're probably 5 or 6 months in, because you started running.
Right.
We ran a half together, and he's slowly learning how to put it together. But you have a busy career. You have a girlfriend who's also in endurance sports. How do you piece it together? What do you do with your career and all the other stuff? How do you make it all fit?
Well, I mean, I started out, 6 months out of the year, I was completely gone from home, and then after that, the fall came and my career shifted. I was able to be more of a 9-to-5 type worker, and Juliana she did get into it, and for me to spend time with her, I had to get into it. So because that was her goal, she was always wanting to push harder and harder, and that was one of her main goals. And I was like, well, if I have to spend time with her, I need to train with her. And then you saw it. I just adapted it, overcame, and it's a sickness. And I succumbed to that illness, and I took on the whole triathlon world. And coming home, basically, it's my training and her training, and I have to get home, or I have to wake up before her and just do my training. And then when I want to spend time with her, I'm just gonna jump onto her training and take it with her. And we kind of have to be in 2 places at one time, or we'll, as you see it, every time we come in for classes or we come in for group workouts or whatever else, it's me and her crossing paths. It's not, hey, how you doing? I'll see you home for dinner, and then, shower and bedtime. So we're learning how to do it and taking different tasks and basically just having a tag team life together. So
Solid statement. See, Craig, that's the kind of fucking question you need to ask.
I got some questions.
You guys just got fucked.
Yeah, thank you.
Luckily, you were there. And this 5 on this couch would be cozy.
Yeah.
All right,
You can
Greg,
make it
you're
work.
up. I've done my part. I've let them out.
All right, who's first?
Birthday boy.
Birthday boy.
All right, are you holding on to something that you need to let go of?
Ooh, man.
Woo! Bend over, son. Hey, you don't use that as a wetsuit.
Actually,
Use it for this
yeah,
question.
You're right. Probably the biggest thing I need to let go of is focusing on the fact that I have not run a low 70 half marathon like this guy. So running's not my strength. I wouldn't say it was a weakness.
Have you gotten into 70s?
I haven't even
Well,
gotten to
let's
70s.
just say 70s then,
Yeah.
not low.
Okay.
Let's get to the 80s, Bill. Let's make a stepping stoning. Let's get there.
I'm in the 80s, asshole.
You just ran a 94.
8.
That was a great year. But it's a great year.
But I'd say probably, being okay with having a strength. As you've probably picked up, biking is my strength. So
Fucking egotistical bastard.
not necessarily
Yeah.
on that running part or the weakness, but understanding that you have a strength to balance it out, and you're still focusing and working on that weakness, but letting go of being perfect in that thing. So you're not going to be perfect in all 3 sports.
Solid statement right there.
Very good. Good response. All right, who's getting the next one?
Found it.
Just go down the line. I'll be up. I'll volunteer.
What is the difference between living and existing?
Ooh.
Oh, we got 0 viewers now. Go ahead. Let it rip.
Let it rip.
I would say we got 1. We picked it back up.
Okay. Derek disconnected.
So existing is, I feel like, kind of just filling a space, whereas living is being real, going out and doing what you want and having fun, and that sort of, I guess to me, that's what it is. Like, I would rather live than just exist in the presence.
Mhm.
I feel like also with existing, you're kind of stuck. You're in kind of a rut, whereas living is going out and expanding. And what the fuck are you doing?
Hey, Jeremy's supposed to look at the camera.
My bad.
he sees the
I drifted.
It's your appeal.
it's
It's not the smell.
He just wants to rub that bald head of yours.
To me, that's the biggest differences.
That's good. That's good. Anybody want to add something else, Jeremy?
Nope.
All right, Jeremy's up.
He's
If
up.
we learn from our mistakes, why are we always so afraid to make them?
So yeah, that's a great question. So the thing is do we truly ever learn from our mistakes? Right? As a sports psych, let me throw it back to you. Do we ever actually fully learn from a mistake?
Well, I would hope so.
Craig. What I say about
Well,
hope?
are we talking about you or him? Because him, yes. You,
Remember what I say about hope. Right? You just
hope
have-
in one hand, shit in the other, see which one weighs more.
Exactly. But
So
I mean, as we're growing through life, do we ever really fully learn? Right? We make a mistake and we're like, okay, that sucks. That pan was hot, like we discussed in the other podcast. That pan was hot. Don't touch it again. But what did we learn from that? We learned the pan was hot, but did we learn a bigger lesson? So I don't feel that. I don't know that we ever fully learn from our mistakes, because I think you have to have mistakes for personal growth and development. So if you did something and fully learned from a mistake, I don't know if that would restrict your growth going forward. Does that make sense?
it does. I think that's a little deeper than I want to go with the beer. Yeah, well, I think you're going to run into situations where you either take. It's my perspective that I mean I would not naturally ask this question anyway. Where did he go? Where did he go? Where did he go?
To the bathroom.
Oh, he went to the shitter. Lessons are to me what I would call mistakes, because I don't like to use the word mistake. Stop, Jerry. Stop it. So who's next?
Steve.
Steve-O. Let me preface.
What
There's no right or wrong answer.
No, there isn't one. We're just asking random questions. What impact do you want to leave on the world?
It's wrong as
I'm
fuck.
not
Right
dead
now.
wrong.
What impact do you want to leave on the world?
what impact do I want to leave on the world?
It'll be like that Moab in Afghanistan.
That's a real big impact. No, I guess just leaving it better than I found it. And honestly, it's the impact that I want to leave with people is knowing that it doesn't matter who they are, what they are, or what kind of stupid ideas they have for me.
Don't look at me.
Yeah.
So do you recycle?
What's that?
Do you recycle? You leave things better than they are?
Well, the city of Paris forces us to recycle. It's not my choice. I'll throw that in a regular trash can. No, but I guess just having everybody know, and especially everybody part of this team, that doesn't matter how bad the training is and I'll go along for it, no matter how deep and how dark the pain cave is going to be. But just to let people know that they're not alone.
Let me talk about the pain cave for just a second, Craig.
That was me holding my pee.
Me on my beat.
So this group of guys. I already know. I've yet to explore it with them, but you know you have good friends when you say, "Hey man, you want to go on a bike ride?" Guy says, "Yeah." Longest bike ride ever was what? 45 miles?
30 miles.
Okay, it was 30 miles. No, you did the Grazia ride.
So that was
like
38 miles.
Okay, so 38 miles. I say, all right, come on. Me and another one of our athletes, Will's going on a ride. And yeah, pro triathlete, Will Close, and our future pro. And so we're gonna ride to Surfside?
Surfside.
Yeah, we're gonna ride to
I would say
Surfside.
we were going to go to Galveston.
It's about 65 miles away. This guy had only ever been 38 miles, and so he's like, "Fuck it, let's go." Has no idea. Knows nothing about eating. Knows nothing about drinking.
2 water bottles. That's all I had.
So as
I
we're
already see where this is going.
He's dead.
No nutrition.
as we're going, we get to the first store, we keep rolling. We get to the second store, keep rolling. We finally stop at a store, and it's like, thank God we stopped. So then we stop at a donut shop. Just so happens to be called Billy's Donuts. This guy in his delirium walks in, he looks at the guy working the counter, he says, "Are you Billy?" And the guy behind the counter says, "No, that's my cousin." And without hearing anything else, he goes, "Oh, that's disappointing." So we eat these donuts another 15 miles down the road, and I swear to God, he keeps is a bad head when he keeps coming off of Will's wheel.
Yeah.
So shove him back up there, and finally he goes, "Can we stop? I got to stretch." And so Will and I are like, "What the fuck does that even mean?" I say,
He did yoga in the street.
no matter what, if you have good friends, they'll do anything. They'll do anything you ask them to do. So he saddled up and rolled out. There's no fucking point to that. There's 0 point to what I just said. Other than having good friends in this sport and in this community is very, very important. Next question. That was our.
If life is so short, why do we do so many things we don't like and like so many things? Why do we do so many things we don't like and like so many things we don't do?
Just say pass. That's awful.
That was almost hard to say.
Pass.
Life is too short to tolerate what?
Hang on. Well, that's an okay one.
Me.
Assholes like Jeremy? That's fine.
Swim splits.
Swim splits.
So, Craig, do this. Turn your fucking computer off. I want you to ask a question like you and I would discuss. Ask a mental question that's deep.
What does it mean to live?
That's the second time he's asked that.
It is.
That is not. What does it mean to live? Not what's the difference between living and existing?
Fair enough.
What does it mean
You
to
live.
live?
We actually have 2 viewers. I am apologizing to everyone that's watching right now.
One viewer. We went down.
This is random chattings of nothing.
All right, Stag, you're up.
What does it mean to live? I would say for me, living is pursuing your dreams and your goals that you have with your whole being.
Can you speak up, Dick Face?
Such an asshole. With pursuing your dreams and your goals with your whole being, not half-assing it, not making a lot of excuses, but having something that you really want and locking onto it and just going for it. I find that, the people that go through life and live for the parties on the weekends, that might be their style of living, but I just can't relate to that. Because I have to have some kind of dream or some goal to achieve, to go forward, to work towards. I feel like I gotta have progress in my life to actually make it living. And it doesn't have to be towards anything, good or bad, just a goal.
That's good. That's good.
What you got?
Was that question?
What's-
I asked
Your question.
the living in.
But I'm interested because
He's
this
scared.
Well, no, because the thing is it's different for every
It is.
single person.
I agree.
And guess
You want each one of them to answer that?
Yeah, I'll let everybody answer it. When we get done, you're going to answer it too. I think that's
Okay.
well, because
Hashtag,
that's
Hashtag, oh shit.
an audio podcast. I don't,
He's a
think,
14-year-old.
I don't think that's search. Can you find that on chat? So, but it's intriguing because our answers will probably be close, but it means different to every person. To include everyone that's listening to this right now. Again, I apologize. You had to deal with this shit. But this is the good stuff. So, what does it mean to you?
So I would agree completely with Stag.
Of course you would, because that's easy.
Well, and he's my best friend, so kind of makes like that. But I would also
Besties, bromance.
That's what you think.
But I would also include surrounding yourself with like-minded individuals,
Right. Fair enough.
right? Because we all, if I use him as a perfect example, we click because we have the same goals and the same desires, right? And we're neither one of us are going out on the weekends. We're in bed by 7:30, 8 o'clock to wake up at 4 or 5 the next morning to sit on a trainer in some cases and text each other how miserable we are, but we're still pedaling. Right. So to me, and like I have the wife who fully supports what I do, but it's surrounding myself with those individuals of the supporting cast to be able to continue to search for it. Because if we're standing still, if we're not learning, if we're not doing better, we're not going anywhere. Right. We're falling backwards instead of moving forward. So it's always trying to take that next step in the process.
And you said a word in there that triggered me. So I'm going to kind of sidebar for just a second. You said miserable, right?
Mm-hmm.
Craig and I, we mentioned that word several times. Suffering is another word that comes up, which is related to the sport. But if you step back and think about the word itself, Craig, quickly Google the word miserable, please. I'd love to know the actual legitimate definition of it. But when we say miserable, that's not in a negative context.
It's not. No.
But however, if you meet someone on the street and you say, "How was your lunch?" "Oh, it was miserable." That's a negative thing, right? That's like that sucked. It was awful.
Mm-hmm.
Craig, you have that definition?
Wretchedly unhappy or uncomfortable.
Right. Uncomfortable. That's the last piece. And that is the fundamental problem with triathletes or endurance athletes anywhere. It doesn't matter what you do, whether it's 5Ks or Ironmans. It's we are comfortable being uncomfortable. We are not comfortable until we're uncomfortable, right? If I tell you, or Derek, who happens to be probably our only, we just lost another fucking viewer. It's just this emotional roller coaster. So if Derek says, "Stag, I want you to hop in the small chain ring," we're gonna run out of beer. So if Derek says, "Stag, I want you to hop in the small chain ring, and I want you to ride for 3 hours."
Oh, that would suck.
At 120 watts. Which is more miserable, doing 20-minute sweet spot spins or riding for 3 hours in a small chain ring at 120 watts?
Those 3 hours, my cooch would be gone.
Right. We can cut that out. Can we edit that?
No.
And we need to discuss anatomically. I don't think you have one. So
At that point, I would.
but he said the word miserable in there, but I want to make sure that we understand that that's not a negative thing. When and Stag remembers this, and he gave me shit about the other day when we were riding together, the more that I suffer, the more I hurt, the happier I am, right? So the more I talk, the more fun I have, the more shit I talk, right? But it's misery is not a negative thing in the mindset of endurance athletes. He was miserable. I'm pointing at Steven. Was miserable that day we rode to Surfside, completely miserable, and he's miserable now because he's going to pee. You can't see John. I mean, yeah. He just
And he's had one beer and he's ready to pee.
rolled out. So, but it's not a negative thing, and I wanted to point that out because it just hit me that I hear the word, and Derek, keep calling Derek. Derek is not on this podcast. Craig, we keep saying things back and forth, and we'll talk about suffering, we'll talk about misery, we'll talk about these things that are normally outside of our circle relative to a negative context.
Sure.
So from a sports psych standpoint, what does that mean? Is there any how have endurance athletes been able to flip that normally negative to most people?
Yeah.
Flip that around to something that's almost a positive.
Turn the volume down a little bit.
Me talking?
I can hear me.
How about now? It hadn't changed.
How about now? What about that?
About that.
So yes, psychologically it can be destructive. Now I get it in the realm of when you're strong-minded, when you have the ability to, process information a little differently, but linguistics is critical to the mental state. Embracing the suck. I don't know anyone that wants to brace the suck, and that's one of my worst. And I know a lot of people enjoy that phrase, but I mean, who wants to do that? Literally, if you like being in pain, that's love. That's exciting. That's energy. That's training. That's effort. That's not negating. The mental side of what we speak, what we say is so important. It's like when we talk about try and,
And hope.
Well, hope isn't bad. Hope's
Hope to make it
hope.
today.
Well, there's certain things you can hope for that you don't have any control over.
Making the gym is not one of those, Craig.
Well, obviously, you need to work on those biceps while we're talking about it.
Dude,
They
definitely.
don't exist. They look like forearms.
Don't get me started, push that boy.
Hey, there we go. Well, it's like cankles for the arms.
No, we're gonna set up one.
Okay, that works.
Jeremy's shoulders turn to forearms. It's like
I got
cankles.
one big forearm. Screw you. Keep talking.
So yeah, I think if you're asking an opinion of us from a psychological perspective, it matters greatly. But I assume that there are people that can internally change the meaning of those words, because when you say you're miserable, that's painful. That's misery is, misery loves company. People associate negativity with misery. So recognizing that, you're basically masking its true meaning in some level to say, I want to be miserable. No one wants to be really miserable, but you're using it as a context. So
Right.
Yeah,
Well,
I think
like a benchmark or guideline.
it means different things to different people, right?
Correct.
So,
it can, yeah.
and I enjoy making him miserable behind me while I'm out biking him.
Right.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it just depends on what.
How's that run
what it is.
split? Right.
Right.
If he's right in front of you, you're gonna lose. I mean, that's really all that matters.
Right. What about you, Jeremy?
And 7.3 world champs in September.
Yeah. What about that?
I can almost call it today. And I swear to God, I've got $100 for whoever piggybacks the other one across the finish line.
So the piggybacker or the piggybacky?
If you guys, I'll give you $100 each.
That's easy.
That's awesome.
easy.
Hilarious.
Stop me and remind me.
So, Craig, that's actually great. Kind of a great context to what I was asking. I'll keep it moving because we only have one viewer still. So, what's it mean to live to me is, and we're talking about misery. I want to feel that. I want to feel challenged. I want to feel afraid. I don't use, you and I talked about it. I don't use fear as the negative thing. That doesn't drive me to do anything. Fear almost empowers me. And so stupidly, I said, okay, what scares the shit out of me personally as an athlete, which I don't talk about a lot? What scares me enough to make me want to do it? Instead of fear driving me away from something. So to me, that makes me feel alive. Is because I'm doing something, just like I'm living, I'm doing something that, quite frankly, I probably can't do. Or I possibly can't complete. Whether it's a goal time, right? Whether it's a distance, whether it's some type of circumstance, I want to put myself behind the 8 ball because mentally I want to see what happens. I want to break. And I think I told you this the other day, or talking about camp when we were riding. I want to be broken mentally and physically repeatedly and see how I respond. What do I do? I don't know. To me, that's living. When you find out where that edge is, where that line is, and you're willing, and I say this in a nice way, to have the balls to step across that line, to see what's there. I think one of the great quotes that came from that, we just interviewed John Kelly with the Barkley Marathons that won it. One of the great quotes is, "Don't tell me what you can't do until you try to do something that's harder and not be able to do it." Right?
Right.
And so to me, that when I read that, I was like, holy shit. Like, I will never say, what the fuck just happened? I will always say what the fuck just happened to this guy, but I'll never say I can't do something until I have attempted something that's one step beyond that. So to me, that's living. You know, they say if you're not living on the edge, you're just taking up space, right? That's kind of the fun saying, but I think it's true. And that's, to me, you gotta be uncomfortable. That's why entrepreneurs start more businesses. That's why coaches take on athletes that have huge dreams, right? That's why athletes have huge dreams. You know, these guys, they've never been to Ironman 7.3 world champs. That's a huge dream.
I have. Mont Blanc.
I know.
I did well. I had the fastest run for it.
Watch me. I'm impressed. It's right there.
What's his face? What's his face?
Okay, fine. This guy's fucking been to world champs. This guy's a piece of shit and has never been. However, they set these goals, and he's up to the swim, I'm sure.
Very much so.
The bike was awful. Relatively awful.
It was.
Mediocre
I was like
exercise.
30th in my age group.
Yeah, mediocre exercise.
Yeah. Dude, it was terrible.
And you,
But he had a
and
great
you
race.
ran like you're running from the police.
But again, he goes back hungry, right? We set that bar a little bit higher because I may not be able to jump over that bar, but I'm going to do everything I can to get over that bar. That to me is living.
Right.
Watch this. You see this? Drop the fucking mic. Pick it up. Your turn.
All right.
Now, this is the beauty of this is you have two elite athletes. You have myself, who's a shit athlete, and you have a new athlete. So, what
woodworker for you?
he is my resident. In Spanish, it's El Janitor. Steve-O, what does living mean to you?
It's a journey that I get to take, by myself or with others throughout, my life.
Why are you nervous, bro?
Because this is crazy being on the spot.
You've had like 30 minutes to think about it.
I am absolutely uncomfortable, and
And that's good.
To piggyback onto what you said about,
I'm giving him $100 to piggyback.
yeah, right. It's like
Each. That was on record.
Segue.
I was sitting there thinking about it while he was talking a lot. That it was like every journey.
You all can't. If you're listening, you can't see this.
Every journey that every journey and every memory that I'm getting on right now is like, I came off a full knee reconstruction, and then I get into this running world, and I'm like, okay, well, what's my goal? I was like, you know what? If I can run a half marathon under 2 hours, I win the game of running for myself.
Found me.
I've won it, because back then I was just like, yo, who does Ironmans, half Ironmans? Who even runs a 26 miles? Like, they're clowns.
You were a fat body.
You guys are. What are you doing in life if you're spending that much time exercising? Like, you guys are already like, picture perfect cut Ironman. Okay, great, you won the game. Move on to something else. But I get a 5K. Okay, got through that. To 10K. And I was like, okay, I'm gonna see if I can get through this half marathon thing, and just wanted to run it. And then I got this asshole the freaking yells
Found me again.
Yep. Yells at me through traffic cones and says, "Hey man, we're not gonna get your goal." And I'm like, "Yo, in your text message a week ago, I didn't know I was running a half marathon, let alone sub 2. Like, what am I doing?
I'm a horrible friend."
But he's like, you know what? Put yourself in that position, see what you can do, and that's what I did do it, and we ended up accomplishing. We had a few minutes to spare as well, and what was great is, we brought other people along with us. There was a point where we had 8-10 runners with us that all wanted to go sub 2, and we had a pack with us. There's talking to them, say, "Hey, run with us. We'll get you through it." And that's living to me. Is helping other people and taking those experiences. And now it's like I sit out there and I go out to Ironman Texas and watch Stag run it, and now I'm like, yo, I think that's a good goal for me. Maybe that's my goal. Maybe I'll do a half Ironman, and then but what I'm scared about is when I finish that, I'm like, yo, what's a fool look like?
Right. So, but let's
stop.
But let's be honest here. That's a great answer. I don't want to take away from that. But let's be honest. Stag really didn't run Galveston 7.3. I just want to throw that out there. That's not running, but whatever. So back to you, Craig.
Progression. That's what living is.
Progression.
It's constant progression, moving forward in everything that we do. It's learning.
We had the best answers, dude.
I feel like we did that almost.
Yeah.
He just summed
Next
it up in one
question.
word.
Next question.
Wrote it, and I had to check it twice to make sure I spelled it right. Shut up.
Hold it up so I can see it. You got to say something so we can see it.
Progression.
Oh, nice. You misspelled it. But that's okay.
He writes like a girl.
Shut up.
He's sensitive.
You all, hey, you're the four guys on the couch talking about pounding it.
Pound me.
Okay. All right.
He's downloaded podcast there, bro. I don't know if we were trying to achieve that, but we just fucking nailed it.
We're still hopping back between 1 and 2 viewers.
Somebody's got shit service. I bet it's Derek. Like, welcome to
Hey, this is all right. Let's make this question specifically. It's not going to do me much good, but make it specifically about triathlons. What is one fear that is continuing to hold you back?
Oh, you brother. Let's reverse the order. All right.
This is tough.
Is his butt just puckered? Yeah, you're up.
What is one fear that is holding you back? And he said earlier, he said he was scared of something, but I can't remember what he said specifically. But when it comes to triathlons, when it comes to endurance racing, let's just say endurance racing. What is it?
Well, honestly, it's not even about. I guess it is about me, but it's like honestly monetarily investing into the sport of triathlons to me, because it's like I'm so new, I'm so junior into the sport. I don't know enough about myself and my mental capacities to say, if I get out there trying to do a half Ironman one day and I get on the bike and I get to mile 30 and I'm like, this is effing stupid. I stop at a bridge, I throw my bike over, but
Dude, that's sweet.
I'm done.
I'll fucking Uber home, But it's honestly like
Been there.
Yep. Am I gonna be, am I gonna have that mental capacity to carry myself through to the finish line? And with that, it's like if I don't have that, am I gonna want to actually invest into this sport? I'm a very cheap person. I don't like to dish out thousands and thousands of dollars for a bicycle, but I know to be good one day, I'm gonna have to make that sacrifice. And for you in this sport, you pay what you get what you pay for.
Back up. Define good.
Good?
Yeah. What is
Not
good?
you.
I'm well aware of that. What does good mean to you, though? You said to be good in the sport. What does that mean?
To accomplish my goals. And to be good in the sport, I don't want to be good in, Jeremy's eyes. I don't want to be gold. I mean, every athlete's going to be 100% different. I can be a well-rounded athlete, but I have my own goals. And if I'm achieving those goals and I'm progressing, using your word through those, then I'm a good athlete. And it's, I might not want to go to, the world champs. So I don't want to go to Kona. I don't want to do any of that, but it's
just wait. It's coming.
Yeah, exactly. And that's the thing that goes back to one of my fears. I don't know when the sickness is going to stop,
it doesn't.
So
From my understanding, it doesn't. I haven't been bit with it completely, but I hear that.
But it's a lot of fun, but it's a scary thought when you go and get a good bike fit, and then you're asking about a good bike fit, and then they're like, oh, it's, you don't know anybody in the sport that's ever done it, and you're like, oh, it's $500-600 for a bike fit, or it's $6,000 for a tri bike, or it's that kind of stuff that fears me, and it kind of holds me back from progressing. But I have Jeremy here constantly reminding me, like, yo, you have everything you need, and
you have Jeremy. Jeremy does use his bike. Can you use his?
No, he's about 5'2", and I'm about 6.
He is.
So
I think it's like the second or third.
He's 3 inches from being considered a midget.
I'm average height for an American. You all are the fucked up ones.
These guys are on the low end of 100 pounds, and I just broke 200 pounds. So
They said American China.
Perhaps.
No, but it's I have everything I need, and so I'm working with what I got, and until I hit until I hit that peak where I have to take the next step into this sport to get better. And that's where I'm at right now. And that kind of scares me.
Greg, you know what I just realized as he was talking about that, the really unique thing about the 4 random dudes on this couch is that's a perspective that I haven't thought about in a long time. Fellas?
Not in a long
Right?
time.
You know, because as we advance through the sport, we kind of become almost callous to that. Like once you buy your bike, we all don't make bank like that guy. But once you get to a certain point, you get race wheels, you get power meter, you get all this stuff. Once you're to that level, I mean, fuck, we should not even discuss how much we've invested in the sport in equipment only. As John Kelly was talking about before in our last podcast, I didn't even think about that. I mean, that's an incredible perspective that even as a coach, I don't consider when talking to athletes. It's like I just assume that everybody knows, you know, to get from A to B, you got to have C, right?
Money bags.
Dude. That's why you're my free help around here.
We probably got $2,000 in watches on this couch.
Yeah. Alone.
Yeah, that's
true.
That's embarrassing.
Yeah.
He's got $200 sunglasses.
These are Superfeet sunglasses, and they cost me like.
Time out. Let's pause for a sponsor break.
Yeah, I was just saying.
Oh wait,
They didn't.
If that spot.
I mean, this was a $3.
How about these are just sunglasses I like to wear? Let's not. They didn't pay for a spot.
Look. I'm just saying.
All right, so
I won these at a race.
All right, Jeremy, it's your turn.
He's got to.
how much did you pay for that race?
Too much.
Yeah, those are too much. Those are too much. So,
And it was probably a sprint because he get out swim and ride everybody.
how's that run split? So anyway, so that what Steven just said is what are we playing grab ass over there? That's incredible because I didn't even think about that. Like when I think about fears in the sport as an athlete, which again I never talk about myself as an athlete because it's not really existent. I don't think about that. Like I don't think about new bike to make me faster. I don't think about X, Y, and Z. So that's an awesome perspective, dude. It really is. Kind of humbles me a little bit to think about.
Are you welcome?
Yeah. Hey,
No.
pound
There
me.
we go. No pounding on the couch. Okay.
Pound me. So,
But at least it's a leather, so you can wipe it off.
So, my answer to that, what was the question? What scares me in sports?
What is one fear that that is holding you back?
Triathlon? Yeah.
Yes. Endurance sports.
No, hey, I've proven I can do that. So,
36 seconds.
I'm going to take that a step further and say just in endurance sports because
You're not allowed to change the rules. Stop changing the rules. He changes the rules all the time.
I'm very honest. Something that a lot of people don't know about me is Ironmans don't scare me. And I say that, and that's going to sound like shit coming from me as a coach. I don't fear them the way that I used to. And that's kind of the pinnacle, unless you get into the ultra distance stuff for the multisport. They don't scare me. But I also, and I've talked to Derek about this several times, I don't give a shit about going 9 hours in Ironman. Could I train and get there? I don't know. Maybe. Who knows? But if you go, I'm not going to say that. So triathlon doesn't necessarily do that. Now, what I have found that does that for me that really scares me, I signed up for a 50-mile running race at the end of the year. Most people don't know that. Crazy. I'll drink to that. So
Silly.
the reason that I did that is because while I love Ironman, and we talked about it, Craig, almost a year ago in the Waves, Riding the Waves podcast, was I love the psychological ups and downs of an Ironman, right, guys?
Yeah.
Like, they even half. Like,
He's never done an Ironman. It's only you and I.
yeah. Well,
How's that?
How's that? This dude walks a half Ironman to like a fucking 10:10. But no, seriously, like even
Had it.
yeah. So, but you know, even in a half, or even in a half marathon, there's so many ups and downs, whether it's nutritionally based or mentally based. It's just this constant. I mean, you just did Galveston. I'm sure there were times where you're like, yeah, this is awesome. And there were times like, this sucks. And the next thing you know, this is awesome. And it's just back and forth. To me, that intrigues me. And so I said, you know what? I've experienced that in Ironman. I love that feeling. I love that being able to watch myself and how I operate mentally. And so I said, let's take it up a notch. Let's take it to something that I may not be able to do. It may mentally and physically break me, but I can tell you now, what scares me doesn't keep me from doing it. When I'm scared of something, that doesn't make me back away and walk the other direction. It makes me say, all right, I'm coming. Let's do it. You know, Craig, I told you the story before about how I taught my daughter to not be afraid of monsters. She had a monster in her closet for years. Promise she didn't have a fucking closet. But anyway, so it was actually under her bed. But I told her, you have to look at that fear and say, I see you there. You're not gonna jack with me. You can stay there, but I see you. It's to recognize what scares you, appreciate it, and then move forward towards it. That for me is what does it. I like it. Mic drop.
Mic drop.
Mic drop. Mic drop.
What you got?
Next.
So fear, and this is gonna make I get super uncomfortable.
I'm gonna interrupt you real quick.
Yeah, go ahead.
Because it's what, 2 or 3 weeks ago you had a chat with Craig,
I did.
right?
I absolutely did.
And you don't tell everything was in it, but how did that work for you? I'm interested because we know
Yeah.
you're working through things.
I am.
It's part of the progression, part of the development.
It is. And so talking about myself, makes me uncomfortable, especially when people find out, because most people don't realize that, hey, oh my God, he's quick, he's fast. I don't like talking about myself. And then when you talk about me in general, I kind of shy away. Like, that's why I kind of crack jokes.
We can look this time. This is our conversation.
This is our conversation. But when when we sit here and we do that, like, it makes me uncomfortable. And when you talk about being uncomfortable, this is the only really
Relax your feet.
uncomfortable.
You're showing that you're nervous.
I am nervous.
Relax. Woosah, motherfucker.
Breathe.
Isn't that like?
Breathe
Isn't that
in.
like?
Woosah.
I don't like it. It makes me, and this is probably one of the only uncomfortables that I'm like, I'm gonna avoid it completely because I don't like it. But, you know, talking with Craig, and he knows, he tells me all the time, but I would say my biggest fear is myself. Because I get in my head, and once I get in my head, I'm done, right? I mean, you look at, you know, Florida this past year, the whole thing, I was in my head. You know, I got in my head, I was cramping, I was just like, dude, you suck.
You know how many times I rode past you on the bike?
I saw you a couple times when we hugged, and it was fantastic, but it was like
It was good. It was good for me.
it was good.
It's all right. Come on, put your arm down. Come on, we gotta support you.
But you know, and Stag was there. I mean, Stag knew I was done. I was mentally checked out, and at that point, you know, it was just, I feel like things happen for a reason. And at Florida, my kids weren't originally supposed to go, and they went. And the whole reason I completed that race, because I was going to drop, was because they were there, right? I mean, it was there. They looked me in the eye, like, "Go, Daddy!" And
You're like, I'm fucking walking.
I'm fucking walking.
I'm walking fast.
Yeah.
I'm walking.
I'm walking. I'm like barely moving, but I'm moving, you know. And like people ask me, what's the favorite thing about Florida? And it was slapping my kids' hands as I was crossing the finish line and seeing them super happy. And it changes your perspective. You know, you talk about like the financial aspect of it, and that's obviously something we all kind of struggle with and look at. But for me, it's myself, because this guy knows, and he hears it all day long. Is if he, like a couple weeks ago, he was get out of your head, and you know, I would say 3 weeks to a month ago, we had to fly back to Texas, and we drove back because I had some family emergencies going on, and I missed some workouts, and I wasn't nailing workouts like I was the week before. And he was like, just get out of your head, you're fine. And I was on a downward slope. And
He was lying. You really suck at life. But go ahead.
you know, sometimes it happens. And then I talked to Craig, you know, so the sponsor, right? This is sponsor advertising.
Shout
right?
out. Yeah.
That's right. That's right.
For this shout
We're
out.
gonna record. This is a double recording.
You know, and if you haven't talked to Craig, I definitely recommend it, because
That's a little much. But
really, he sat here and he described these people, and I was like, that's me to a T. You know, and he talked about all these people, and it was me to a T. And I text you, and I was like, oh my God, like, I couldn't sleep that night. I was so excited after I talked to him, and I went up the next morning and I crushed the workout because he gave me tools that I was able to go through. And like this past race I did this past weekend, it was a 3-loop run course, and I got to the last loop of the run course, and I was like, man, like, I'm tired. I really don't want to be out here anymore. It's hot. And, you know, and then I was like, oh, wait, like, you can do this. All you got to do is keep moving. You know, and I remember what Derek said, and saying, hey, like, your terrible run split is super fast to other people. And I was like, just keep moving. You win if you keep moving. And that's all I did. And so I feel like when it comes down to the fear of triathlon, and specifically it's myself and getting in my head, and that's why we're taking steps, you know, by adding Craig to the team to say, hey, like, how do we get over these outside of Stag saying get out of your own head? Because
I'm not good enough.
Well, but
Right.
he's just like me in a sense of like, I know when he's in his head, and I'm like, get out of your own head, but we both operate the same way. And it's, hey, we're in our head. You're not getting me out of this. Like we're stubborn in that sense of like, man, like I suck, when reality is we don't suck. We've set an expectation and we're not meeting that expectation that we met
Sure.
outside of not taking reality into perspective.
Correct. And so let's take it a step further, because you were uncomfortable talking about yourself. How did that race go for you?
It went well. It went really well. I was 7 minutes off of PR. One of the things that people are like, oh, you had the fastest amateur run split, which is to me normal. But for me, the best part about it was I had the fastest age group bike split, which unless this fool's racing, it's and that fool being Stag for you those not watching.
If you're not watching, you're wrong. Don't be wrong.
But like for me, that was a big deal because I've never had that, right? It took me in the next step, in the next progression in the age group, because I literally went out and was thinking, I got to crush this. And maybe I didn't crush it as well as I would have liked to have looking back, but I was still like, I was flying by people and I was, taking one of Craig's advice. I was singing Big Pimpin' as I was passing people.
Big Pimpin'.
That's right.
Indeed.
But I was having fun, which is something you and I have talked about many times, because this sport becomes very, we're just going to go through the motions. We're just going to go through the motions. When you're not having fun, you're not. I mean, why do this?
What's the fucking point?
Right.
Yeah, don't
Why
smile
spin?
for every camera.
Take your training seriously.
Yes.
Take your hobby seriously. Don't take yourself seriously.
Right.
That's when you step back and say, what's the point?
And we've
I'm
all,
enjoying it.
and I feel like, and you'll go through it too. I know you're new. Like you get to a point that you're like, why the fuck am I doing this?
What's the point?
Why? Like, I don't care. Like, I'm missing my kids grow up. I'm like, my wife is griping at me because I haven't spent time with her. We haven't had a date night in over 2 months. Like,
that's a problem.
That is a problem.
That's
but
a legitimate problem.
But at the same time, like you're sitting there, like I'm spinning my wheels, and that's when it comes down to, hey, I need to take a step back and realize, and that's where I feel like you have a good supporting crew behind you saying like, oh,
This is not a paid shout out, but go ahead.
yeah, well, Stag. But and that's what I feel like that's where it comes down as an athlete saying like, wait a second, like I'm missing the boat. I'm missing what I'm supposed to be doing, because at the end of the day, if we're not having fun, it isn't worth it.
Relax your feet. You're still nervous.
Well,
There you
it's
go. There you
talking
go.
about myself, and that doesn't help.
You suck. Just know everybody knows you suck, and that's all that matters. You can
It's
talk
cool.
fine.
It's cool.
Yeah.
Nice
shirt, by the way.
Thank you. I
Where'd
got
you get
it
that shirt
from a really cool guy.
Where was that at?
It was here at United Fitness.
Oh, yeah. Where's that at?
Here in Pearland, Texas. If you don't know,
And you're done. Cheers.
I would say the biggest fear I've got is probably
Flatten on the bike course?
no, actually
You
not,
can't do it on the road.
because I don't even like carry a flat kit.
My dude.
Hey.
No, but it's I've gotten run down by this motherfucker.
For those that can't see, that is this guy here.
So I got outrun last year at Santa Cruz at mile 12.8. They tested me going at 450 per mile, and I was going 650 per mile, which isn't slow,
That's like
but
saying
it's
still.
pretty
You
slow.
might as well have been walking like you did in Florida.
Yeah.
It's embarrassing.
So my biggest fear is really failing at the run split, failing going as fast as I think I should be able to go. And again, that plays back to the question I answered however many eons ago, but probably 3 beers ago.
Aren't we only 3 beers in?
We're on 2 hours on the podcast. Keep going, fellas.
But it's playing to your strengths. My
Mhm.
strength is biking. I still got a lot of room to go in the running, but I actually fear the run. I do, and that's a mental aspect that I have to overcome.
Craig,
Definitely.
you got about 20 minutes of content right there.
That was really, really good. Really strong stuff.
Tell us what you think. Break it down. How do you? What are some feedback points you can give? I don't give a shit about me because I don't really care about exercise that much. But give us some feedback on the things that you heard. Maybe some key points that you heard, and maybe some tips. Because at the end of the day, we do this to help people, right? So we have these 3 guys here. I told Steven to come over here and hang out for our last podcast, and I screwed him into hanging out here for this podcast. He's not working on it.
I had no idea that this is going
He had no idea. And I'm like, oh, yeah, Steven's here too. So, but it brings a really cool perspective, and I appreciate Steve for being here. You have a wide
Pound it.
pound it, pound me.
We did that behind Jerem's back.
Pound me. So, give us your feedback. Like, help us with what we provided you. Give the tools to those people. That one viewer that is, I'm for sure, Derek. But the people who listen to this, all 9 of them after the podcast is published. Give us some tools. Help us. How do we overcome maybe some key things you heard that said, yes, here's how you get over that. Help us with that.
Well, yeah, if you're talking about being new in the sport and worried about all the money, deal with what you got, right? So that nothing else matters. Jeremy, Jeremy, why don't you?
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, you're not getting off the couch. But seriously, though, I mean, there's always. Where's he going?
We can't help him.
He's broke the seal, hasn't he? He's broken the seal.
He's about
But
to.
seriously, this when you look at when it's about things that you don't have, then that's where confidence even comes into. It's because we look at the guy beside us who has the bicycle that's $20,000, and we have this, Cannondale 613 that's from 1998, and it's half aluminum, half carbon, whatever. And we begin to immediately go, oh shit, we're not going to be good enough. And little do you know, their speed is about half of yours because they're not good. Or when you're, and you've got that bike and you're just pedaling away on this race or whatever it is, and somebody comes flying by you and you start freaking out. Little did you know, about 5 miles later, you're going to pass them again because they just want to pass you. They were just so excited about passing you that they exceeded their own performance and screwed up. So what you do is just don't worry about it. You worry about what you have. And then when you get to the level to where you can go greater, you can do better with something different, then that's a conversation to have. When it comes to, what we had a conversation for a couple of weeks ago is recognizing that everyone wants to tell you to change your mind, to do better with your mind, but they don't tell you how. They say, get out of your own head. But that's not enough for anyone because it doesn't make sense. That there's no tangible items within that to apply. And so that's where, mental coaching comes in to say, hey, this is what it is. This is what it means to think. This is what words mean, like focus, self-talk, concentration, attention, thought. And then this is how you apply change to that. And you can do it really quickly. And it's not a really long conversation. I mean, it actually happens pretty quick. It's just a matter of application. Those are really important. But, when it comes to worrying about if you're not going to do a very good split or your bike's going to be really slow or whatever else it is that you're assuring that that's what you're going to achieve, when the fact that yeah, exactly. The guy that's missing that went to this third potty break and a beer and a half, and he's 3 potty breaks in. But, when you have doubt, that confidence, that's what's getting hit is the confidence. The confidence is not going to allow you to exceed or excel in your performance. You're going to underperform. So that's my kind of thoughts. Real random and quick.
Slap hands as they pass in the hallway.
Everybody is leaving. Not only are our watchers leaving, our participants are leaving.
Not only are we losing viewers,
we're losing participants. Oh, we had to get more beer.
Hey, boy, getting it in.
So
beer break.
Like, it's part of the part of having to make sacrifices and stuff that I haven't drank in 6 months.
No, you got to drink.
So we've got him an Uber waiting outside to get him back home.
Well, you'll learn that anytime you're around Jeremy, you have to drink to enjoy it. So that's the way it is.
I have to drink to enjoy me. Tolerate me. That's way deeper than we need to go today. So he drinks. Yeah, he drinks for a totally different reason. He's way young. He drinks for effect. And so here we are in the handoff, and yes, nailed it.
All right.
Oh, sorry.
Dude, this is the worst podcast to listen to.
Probably it's going to be the worst one.
I thought we had some.
But we had fun.
I mean, we're gonna have to share the video because we're laughing.
That's the only way it's going to work.
Here.
Yeah. Yeah. If you're listening to this via iTunes or your phone, stop. Just turn it off. Just turn it off. And go to YouTube and watch the video.
I agree. So, Craig, to kind of wrap it up a little bit, do you think we got a chance?
Let's not say wrap up on this couch.
Yeah, let's not.
I just, I'll tell you what, we talk about triathlons and fear. I'm fearing living under the regime of Derek and Jeremy in a year.
So you guys may or may not know this.
Ugh.
It was over a
I
year,
made a mistake.
a year and a half ago.
I don't make mistakes. I made a mistake.
Here's the question: are you going to learn from said fucking mistake? A year and a half ago, Craig makes a comment. I said, dude, when you get done with your PhD, you got to do an Ironman. And Craig goes, yeah, you're right. I own a road bike. He's got a legit. It's an older road bike. It's a nice fucking road bike. Like, you got to do an Ironman. He goes, yeah, I'll do that. Craig, how you feel about that decision now?
Yeah, that was a brick wall moment.
And how long you got?
Well, I'm going to slow down a little bit.
You're going to graduate when you're 50.
I'm going to stay in school for the rest of my life just so I don't have to do the freaking Ironman.
What are we looking at? 18?
No, May of 18. Yeah, May 2018.
May
That's awesome.
of 2018. So he's got a year and 1 month until he starts his Ironman training.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Having never done track.
I'll tell on myself, I died swimming 25 meters.
I was going to say, how's your swim?
Died.
I may be faster.
I wasn't that bad because I was at least able to walk half of it,
Well, if you feel like you're drowning, just fucking stand up.
Stand up.
What made you go from like 0 to Ironman?
Good question.
We're gonna find out.
Because typically, the game out here is like just the tip. So,
You couldn't get on that one. You went all in.
you're going all in.
I would,
More than this couch.
it always starts.
So, all we're going to hear this entire podcast for those who are just listening is Lejeune laughing. So, Craig, talk about your fears, Craig. What are your fears in triathlon?
That's it. It's coming under your regime. It's I tell you what, from just from an outside perspective, it's time. There's a lot to do, and it's what you learn is there's always a balance, right? I mean, at some point you figure it all out, but when you first get into it, and it's whether it's 12, 15, 20 hours a week that you're putting into training, something has to give. And, we talk about Gary Vee a lot, and he's the same way. He's like, you could be sitting on the couch, or you can be doing something. But when you bring in a kids and family and stuff of that nature, those are things that I don't like to take time away from. So then it's a balancing act. That's the big one. What are you doing?
What just happened? So you said time.
Time.
Let's do this. Birthday boy, focus. So you said time. Let's go down the road. I think there's still more good content. Is that
Absolutely.
There's more good. There's a lot of more good content.
Let's listen.
A lot of more good.
A lot of more good.
A lot of more goods.
You still got beer over there, right?
Steven, we got a. You see all that beer?
We're good.
Yeah. It might be
He hadn't
warm,
drank
but
for 6 months either.
I'm driving all the fools home.
you got an Uber driver, right?
He is Uber built in.
So Derek is still watching. Derek, you need to go kiss your wife. Go ride your bike. This is not entertaining.
He's already
for you.
rode his bike. He's already talked shit to us today.
That's right, Derek. How about that bike picture? Anyway, so you said time, and that brings up a great point, because that's something that I battle with as a coach often, is athletes saying, I don't have time, or I can't find time. They come to you, and Craig, this is a great thing to kind of go into what you do as well. On the mental coaching side, it's one thing to talk about it. It's another thing to be about it, right? It's so much harder to show action. And the thing that I always say is, don't tell me, if you do something wrong, for instance, he never does anything wrong. But let's say he does something wrong. He comes and says, your wife may be the one.
She may be.
She's probably not. She doesn't care about you. So, say he comes to me and he says, oh, I'm sorry. Sorry, I said that about you. That's bad. Show me you're sorry, right? So talking about it and being about it. When it comes to the time perspective in the sport, if you go to your coach, or go to yourself, if you don't have a coach, you go to your coach and you say, I want to do, let's just say Ironman Texas in 12 hours, first Ironman. Okay? Here are the steps, right?
10 a week.
Maybe. So you go in.
Depends if you're brown or not.
And you say, right, Craig, go ahead and sign us off. We're done. I'm done with this. So, but seriously, so we set goals, and you and I talk a lot about goals. Everything that we do in the sport is goal related. Everything we do in life is goal related. Saving money, having kids, getting a promotion, racing this stupid exercise activity. So we set this goal, but we're not willing to sacrifice that time. So what do you think? What is your – I'm going to put Steven on the spot here because he loves to be put on the spot. He's going to start doing like that little foot thing where he like wiggles his feet. But what is your next goal, and what is it going to take you to get there?
My next goal.
And it could be the 5K in 2 weeks. It doesn't matter. What's your next goal?
To actually do my first triathlon.
Okay.
Pound it, man. That's awesome.
Dude, can we get Brendan, we'll pound the shit out of him. I'll follow up pound on that one. I'll take second.
No, but yeah, it's
You signed up for one and it got canceled. So that
Right.
sucks. You build towards something and then it just gets eliminated. So,
Right.
so then what?
well, at the end of May, there's one here in Fairland. So we'll just see how it goes.
You gonna need a stretch break?
No, I'm not gonna need a stretch break. Somebody's gonna take me on a 100-mile ride in a few weeks.
You got a big hundo.
But no, I mean, I have all the elements of that triathlon, and I feel, fairly strong about them, and I'm super happy. Now it's just putting them all together. So that's my goal. Is now, trying to focus my training on doing not just one exercise activity, but now putting multiple together and seeing how my body reacts to that, and gearing my nutrition around.
Relax your feet. You're good.
Yeah, it is.
I'm stressing. That's the first thing to do. Everybody,
I don't
when they get nervous, everybody does this, right? Carry on. Sorry.
But no, I mean, it's now learning how my body handles nutrition and trying to pick Jeremy's brain as much as I possibly can, and then succumbing to his stupid experiments with me.
Billy's Donuts.
We'll head to Billy's Donuts and we'll figure out how many donuts I need in my jersey pocket to get through it.
Through a
But,
sprint.
But no, it's that, and that's my goal and my steps to come through it, and start putting the puzzle pieces together from what I have learned and what I've gone through thus far in the last 6 months.
And you got 3 guys on this couch that tell you it's possible. Right?
Absolutely.
It's absolutely fucking possible. So, well, I'm in the mood to pound.
I feel like I'm getting a lot of pounds.
You're getting a lot of pounding. You're getting a lot of pounding.
With 3 other guys on the couch.
Whatever. So Craig would love to pound you, but he's not here.
That's
So,
right. Right.
June, what you got? What's your next goal, and what are you going to do? Let's relax the feet.
Wait. Why'd you skip yourself? What's your next goal?
He's like that. I told you he makes all his own rules.
This is a great point. So as a
I
coach,
thought he was the mediator. He's kind of directing.
yeah. So I mean, it's my fucking
Don't
podcast.
let him out of this.
My next goal is the 50-mile run at Brazos Bend. There's no goal to it. I may start training in October for it. I don't know. It's a 50-mile running race, and when we say running, I use that term loosely. I'm going to run like Stag. Might be walking.
He didn't walk.
He didn't walk.
He didn't walk. Let's be fair.
He exercised. He moved a little quickly. But no, to me, that's a more of a mental
He
task.
trotted.
I want to do an Ironman this year just because I want to learn more about what the mind goes through in an Ironman. And so as a coach, I have found, right, that's exactly what happens. As a coach, I have found that I cannot participate in events my athletes are at. I cannot go to a race I have an athlete at and actually race because like Lejeune here, I don't talk well about myself. I don't say, oh, I'm good at this, so I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. If someone comes to me, for instance, let's say Steven and I are both doing the race in a month or so, and we're both racing, and he comes to me race morning with a stress, with a struggle, with a problem, with an anxiety. I don't give a shit about my day. It's what can I do for this dude, right? That's the default. And so I learned I can't race races that athletes are at. That being said, until we decided to start United Fitness this year, I was going to do Ironman Canada. 2 reasons. 1, I will have 0 athletes there. And 2, it's stupid hard. Not that Ironman's easy. I don't want to discredit it. But when you finish an Ironman, you'll look back and say, oh, that wasn't that bad. Right? No matter what your time is, whether it's 15 hours, whether it's 10 hours, whether you walk the whole half marathon, I'm not making fun of you.
No,
but whether you go through that struggle or not, you're going to be like, oh, that's totally possible. Right? And like Ironman says, anything is possible. As stupid as that is, it's true. And so for me, I got to find something that scares the shit out of me. So my next goal is the 50. Do I think that it will completely break me? No. Luckily, I have a very good friend and a guy named Olin Lester who said, I said I want to do the 100. I've maybe ran 35, 36 miles in total in a day. I wanted to go straight to the 100 because I know for a fact it will fucking crush me. And he's like, dude, I'll fly there from North Carolina and do the 50 with you. I thought, cool, we'll do 16 miles. He's a SWAT sniper. He loves donuts. He is a typical police officer. He loves.
That's awesome.
He sends me pictures of donuts on the hood of his car. No shit. So we're gonna do a lap and we're gonna eat donuts. Why wouldn't I do that? I mean, come on.
Sugar, right into the system.
Right, for sure, straight hit. So for me, it's more about I don't necessarily have a goal of sorts, and that's kind of the problem. My goal is crossing finish lines with these guys. Right. I told somebody the other day. I said, I'm not doing an Ironman this year. I crossed 10 to 15 Ironman finish lines per year. Right. And to me, that's the biggest thing. Craig, just like you you helped Lejeune. He crushed his fucking race. Like, crushed it. Could have done better. Let's be honest.
Yeah.
But he crushed it. And you crossed that finish line with him. That's important to you. Right. That's important to me is crossing that finish line. So I don't necessarily, 27 minutes later, I don't have a goal. That's where I'm at. You also never say,
he literally spent 15 minutes telling us absolutely nothing.
Who the hell is this other viewer? If you're a viewer, send me a text message right now. We want to see who's listening. If you're not a viewer, listen to it, and you should watch it.
So it's Derek and Derek.
Derek's logged in on his phone and his computer.
So my goal next.
Next person. Stag.
Yes. Skip over Lejeune.
No, keep going.
So our next race, as of right now, is Raleigh, and
Relax your feet.
One of the main reasons we're doing it is because it's obviously literally 20 minutes. You got a text message.
I got a text message. Derek. Hey, Derek. 1, 2, 3. We'll flip on. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Derek. All right, good.
So our next race is Raleigh, and our big goal there is to TT the bike. And just
what is TT for those that are non-triathletes?
So
pee on the bike.
I will
TT
pee
on the bike. Yeah.
I will pee on the bike.
Pee on the bike.
So it is a rolly course. Ideally, you pee,
No, I mean when do you pee?
you pee ideally downhill.
So you stop pedaling downhill. You're
Ideally,
racing. No, okay,
Bro,
yeah.
you kill yourself.
listen, Mister, I can't run. It's how I
Always gotta bring that in. Always gotta bring that in.
Got him.
You got me on the swim for sure.
I don't know about his last performance. But anyway, carry on.
So our goal is to TT the bike and to see what I have for the run. Derek has pointed out that he thinks I subconsciously
Two viewers.
What?
Text me if you're a viewer. Do not leave, please. Go ahead.
So he thinks I subconsciously leave something back on the bike so I can run.
I think you do.
So we are going to test that in theory on the bike.
Not in theory. We're going to test that.
We're going to
There's
test
no
it.
theory.
There's no theory. And I mean, what we plan on doing, I could probably walk a half marathon.
What we will do.
Sorry, he's correct. You see, mental coaching right now, as it's going on, is we probably walk a half marathon and still finish top 3, which is the goal overall.
I swear to God, we lost a fucking viewer.
Damn it!
If you walk it all in a half marathon, you will catch an ass whipping. However, if you do not perform to the level I know you can perform at on the bike, you will catch an ass whipping.
We're gonna crush the bike.
And we're gonna have a push-up contest.
I mean,
Tomorrow.
These are non-functional. These are non-functional.
You don't know that.
You must
Jeremy, do you do push-ups?
You know that those are non.
What's that?
Do you do push-ups like real man push-ups?
Daily.
Not girl, not knees on the ground push-ups.
I haven't done a push-up in about a year.
So you can still do more than he could.
Got him.
But I do planks. Does that count?
That works.
I said, dude. Craig, you can't post this podcast. Like, this is just for fun. This is not like that, man.
Oh no, it's going live.
I would say my biggest goal next is to have Lejeune piggyback me at Worlds. Just kidding.
I am gonna run fast in my Worlds. He doesn't realize that yet, but it's gonna happen.
That is on record. If you get to views, you're going to prison.
Too funny.
But that would also mean that what if I don't like it? I mean, what if I do like it?
Well, if you do like it, then we'll discuss that later. That's on the edition of the podcast you can pay extra for. That's on the yeah.
Anyhow, the next goal I have is rally, not rally, Eagle Man, and it would probably be to have a solid run in the heat to where.
How about a 3:30?
3:30 what?
Bike and run together. Come on, man.
Oh yeah, that's right.
We know who the king
sorry,
is.
Sorry, Derek.
3:30 stag. Derek is our only. Oh, we got 2 viewers.
Yeah.
Seriously, if you're not Derek, text me and tell me you're watching this. 318-934-3715. Oh, they seriously just left.
I mean, since Derek's watching, it's a 3:30. No, it would be to have a solid run to my capabilities after the fight.
I like that. Found it.
No, hang on. There's gray area. What is a solid run of your capabilities? Right, that's a great. Put something on it.
All
Tell me
right.
what you're gonna run there.
84.
Horse shit.
84.
No, I mean, it's gonna be hot there.
It doesn't matter. You're taking nutrition on the bike.
Craig, do you hear that? I hear the excuse train rolling through town.
It's rolling. It is full coal.
Shoot,
rolling.
motherfucker. Come on.
You have it. Quit
Tell me
jiggling.
what to do. Come on. Relax
We
your
need to talk.
85. I think I'm capable of an 85.
But see, you don't. I know you're capable of an 85
Yeah.
off the bike.
I know I'm
think-
capable of an 85.
There you go.
off the bike.
Mental coach Jonathan right now.
That's fucking scary.
But I'm also gonna do a 2-hour flat bike, so that's like a 225 total. So 325.
What you
Sorry.
got on that?
I'm gonna do 320. It's all right. Especially.
He can't even do a 330.
What was yours? I'm sorry.
333?
Yeah. 333 to
379.
Yeah. I mean,
379.
4 hours.
Craig, we just gave you a lot of really not good stuff.
Terrible
This is
information.
awful content. Somehow we're back. I'm gonna say this one
2
time.
viewers.
If you're a viewer, you're not Derek.
Text me at.
Text message. I'm not saying the number.
Don't
again.
leave.
It's fan number. Don't leave. No, we want you here. Craig, thoughts?
Yo.
You
We're
heard
good.
goals. You heard how we're gonna get there. You heard lack of confidence in what we can do.
Paint. Yeah, we heard the. We need to have. He needs to watch on YouTube. It's called The Little Engine That Could.
Chugga.
Chugga.
Then we're going to Chatty. We're going to Chatty. It's a perfect place for him. He's still gonna lose to me, but it's all right.
Craig, are you coming to Chattanooga 70.3 in September?
Absolutely.
Greg's a world champ.
We talked about it. Yeah, I'll be there.
Greg's a world champ.
Good.
Yeah, it's only about. I think it's about 5 hours away.
I'm gonna run past him.
Craig actually said that Craig Willard coaching will also double my offer of $100 a person if you piggyback across the line.
I mean, I'm gonna run past him. Hey, piggyback, and that's what's gonna
No, absolutely. $100.
That's after you punch him in the dick.
That's before taxes.
Then you piggyback. It's really weird.
So if he likes it, does that really count as a punch?
No, that's not a punch, actually. That's on the extra episode. Craig, do you have any final thoughts?
No, this was a good random. I don't know what.
It went nowhere. Very quick, we're done.
We're gonna have people go to Performance on Demand podcast and they're gonna go unsubscribe. Unsubscribe.
From the beginning.
Sure. Shout out
Good
to Derek.
stuff.
You are
Yeah.
ridiculously patient. He's looking for info on you guys.
Exactly.
He knows I'm not going to log workouts. So, Greg, what you got?
We're good.
Silence.
He has a question. It's a very serious
I
question.
think he froze or he's farting.
At least do it. I don't have anything to say. I don't have anything to add. This was random and crazy as shit.
And I don't think we pulled anything out that was of use.
No. This was just a random conversation. This was fun.
You know, the thing is, yeah, we got 4 guys on the couch. Let's not discuss
4 guys pounding it on the couch.
You know, and I think so. I told you going into this that I had no idea of where it would go, nor did I really care. You know, we had a very serious chat last time with John Kelly. I say serious. He fucking played the guitar on.
That guy's got all kinds. Man, he's got all kinds of stuff going on.
He was legit, right? He qualified for Kona last year.
I have not.
He just won the Barkley Marathon. Are you familiar with this?
I
game?
am.
So he raced the team. He raced with the team.
Guinness Book of World Records.
He set the world record for. He ran a 2:57 flat at Boston last year in the costume of Link from Zelda.
On Legends.
So he has the world record for the fastest marathon in a character. Like he has a legitimate plaque that says, "That's awesome." What's your marathon?
Mario.
I swear to God, I just thought that. 240 something? Could you do a 256 in a costume?
235.
I mean, that would require me to actually want to run a marathon.
I don't care what you want.
I'm not running. Not
Well,
happening.
you proved that at Florida.
exactly. exactly. I don't like that.
All right.
Not happening.
So Derek, I mean, I keep talking to Derek. Derek's the only viewer. Whoever this other person is, get better.
But here's my real question: why can't Stag dress as Mario and run a 256? Or Steve
356?
256, whatever the fuck it is.
What's your open marathon?
Steak that I don't.
You don't have one. You don't have one at all, right? You never ran a marathon?
No, I have.
What'd you run?
A 4:30.
4:30. He ran it.
That's
It's terrible.
That's terrible.
Did you walk that?
But let's,
Yeah. Actually, the last 6 miles I walked.
But let's back up. It's terrible. But to probably of our, let's say we have 200 downloads, it's fast. Hey, think about that. So
speed is relative.
Oh,
right?
it's so relative.
So
All
relative.
relative. All relative.
I mean, and that's where I feel like, I mean, you could arguably look at my last performance and say, oh, that's fast. But to me, that's the slowest time I've ran. Right. So it's so relative across the board. And when I talk to people and they're like, oh, you're fast, I'm like, well, it's relative. Right. Because when you look at who I compare myself to,
Who do you compare yourself to?
well, you're looking at like the Jesse Thomases of the world and
So you beat him.
well, I have before, you're correct. But the Javier Gomez and the Juan Fernandez.
Let me help you. Don't compare yourself to those folks.
Why not? Well, why not?
I like
why
that.
not?
I like that.
They
Why not?
may be able to swim faster than me, but they're not biking or running faster than me at this point, right?
Sure.
So if I can figure out, look, fuckhead.
Well, she just got out of hand. So if you want to connect with us,
No doubt.
So seriously, Craig, we knew this podcast would go nowhere.
And it did.
So we knew this podcast would go nowhere. However, I think there are small points to pull out of this because we have a wide range of experience. Happy Easter. We have a wide range of experience in the sport, from performance-wise and just entry level, like getting into the sport, to kind of getting in and then guiding people through the sport. We have a blowing up.
Pulling out.
I'm ready to pulling out. So,
Three
but
kids, right? 3 kids?
yeah, shut up. At the end of the day, 3 kids. No girlfriend. So, at the end of the day, I think while we really didn't talk about anything, we just drank a lot of beer and just kind of cackled our way through this. I think there's a lot of stuff that we pulled out that can be understood. I know you can handle it. That can be taken away for anyone of any level, anywhere.
Pretty tipsy right now.
Right.
So, Craig, you want to take us home? You want to finish this up because these guys are done.
Yep. We're wrapping this up. This drunk bastard's got to go home. So you can give us a call or give us a call. Give us a call over on
8, 9. No. We got one viewer again.
You can reach us over at performanceondemandpodcast@gmail.com. You can find Jeremy over at mindrightendurance.com or Jeremy at mindrightendurance.com. And you can get me.
at
Go ahead, tell them. Tell them. Yes,
or
that's right.
Craig at craigwheeler.com. And those confusing, write it down. CRAIG at CRAIGWILLARD.com.
Done.
Pound it.
Deuces. Pounded. All right, we're out.
We're done here. All right, dude. We got one viewer left.
All right, I got to roll. I got to get asses in 5 minutes.
You should have been gone 10 minutes ago.
I know, so I got to go. Y'all have fun.
Sorry about you.
See ya.
Right on, man.
Thanks, Craig.